Welcome back, everybody, to the latest edition of Strictly Biased with yours truly, Will Retherford. We are here for our Week 5 NFL recap. I am joined today by the man himself, the man of the hour, El Presidente of the Central Indiana Sports Report.
You take way too long to say legend.
The legend, Greg Mingelt.
Thank you, Will. Also, we're going to talk a little baseball.
We are. Yes, absolutely. NFL postseason. We are in the divisional series. NHL also does start today, so we might throw a little tidbit in there right at the end if anybody is interested. But
yeah,
what an incredible week of NFL football when a slate that just did not look very good performed for us in every time slot.
And how about producer Susie?
It's unbelievable. It's unreal what she's been doing in the pick'em. You text me and it was not surprising because she's been spot on, but some of the games she's picking, it's just like you are getting really lucky because I don't know what you were seeing that we weren't, but
she saw it. So here's the deal, everybody. Every week I put Will up against the other members of the Central Indiana Sports Report, including producer Susie, as we mentioned, and some of the local media. And producer Susie is in the lead. She was in the lead going into the week and then had the most points this week. That's because last week she was the only person to pick the Giants. This week she was the only person to pick the Patriots, and she also had the Titans and some others. So here she is in the lead. Let me go over it real fast, Will. And I know we usually do this on Friday evening, Will, but I just want to go over the standings real fast because I'm so proud of my wife, who scored 45 points last week. I was second with 39. You were third with 37. Mike Rich, our Pacers guy, 35. Elijah Poe, our IndyCar guy and of the Ball State Daily News, and Grant Schaus, our IU guy and of the Action Sports Network, both scored 32. So producer Susie has 207. I have 200, and Will has 190. We are first, second, and third. And you have a 14-point lead on fourth, which is Elijah Poe. 1 point behind him is Mike Rich. So just wanted to recap that because I'm really proud of my wife for not only doing it, but taking it seriously and doing her homework. And
she's seen the board really well. I mean, she's been really good every week. So.
I mocked her both weeks when she made those picks.
Yeah.
And she said, we'll see.
And you know what? That's the thing. Any given Sunday.
We really
talk about it all the time.
Patriots and Bills prove that.
There were a couple. I mean, that Titans pick, we're going to talk about that later.
We are going to talk about it.
Yeah, we are. Greg, I've got a lot to say, but first, what would you like to know?
Will, in the realm of reality, are you starting to think of the Colts as a Super Bowl championship contender?
Yeah, they're really good. The metrics are there.
It's not just that either.
There's
not an elite team.
I don't look like it. I don't think that there's a really elite team in the league either that you've seen up to this point. It's still so early. Yeah. I mean, elite teams will.
The Bills probably could be.
I can think of maybe two teams that I would say I would consider probably right on the outside of elite, but the Colts are right there. I mean, like I said, all of the underlying numbers kind of back up all of the statisticians, the sabermetrics. They point to the Colts like being a legit, really good offense and a capable defense. So I think if they continue to score the way they've been scoring, they're going to be really hard to stop.
You and I are going to talk more about that on the Colts Report on Wednesday.
Yep.
I broke down the film. I have a lot to say, positive and negative.
Yep.
Believe it or not, in a 46 to win, there were a couple of negatives.
I thought there were some negatives there, too. I would be surprised to see if your negatives are the same as mine. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I think the Colts are an elite football team. They're playing really well. They have all the talent. And I'm really excited for the Colts Report to break down the tape and kind of show people what we are seeing and what they should be seeing as well.
Hey, Will, who are the winners and the losers of the week?
Yeah, we have a lot, I think, on both sides, winners and losers. I mean, there's only 5, so it is, kind of condensed, kind of the storylines that I thought were the most important, my takeaways. We're going to go losers first, winners second. Winners always deserve that second.
And for storylines, Will, this week was by far the biggest that we've had so far.
Absolutely.
I think we figured a lot of things out, and things got a lot murkier
Yep.
in some instances.
Yes. My number 5 for the losers, the Philadelphia Eagles. Finally,
2 weeks in a row you have them in the losers. That's more than the actual losses.
Finally, their inefficiency gets exposed against Denver. Philly's defense is lights out. I'm not going to take anything away from them there. Man. They are so good. But their offense just cannot find their groove. They have a new offensive coordinator and play caller this year, and that offense is just simply not getting it done. I don't know what's changed. Good. No, I mean, Saquon Barkley, talking about stats, he has 83 carries for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns this season. That's a 3.2 yard average. This is a guy that had over 2,000 yards last year and set the postseason and regular season record for most yards from scrimmage in an entire season last year, and he just cannot find his footing.
Can I play devil's advocate a little?
Okay.
The last 4 weeks, they played the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Broncos, and they played 4 elite teams in a row.
Absolutely, but they played elite teams last year and still were able to get it done on the line.
They weren't even a sure playoff team until late in the year, were they?
They were pretty... I mean,
they kind of turned about the midway point of the season.
Yeah, it was kind of up and down. I mean,
so they could do that again, but the things that we've been talking about are starting to happen.
Absolutely.
I would have them higher on my list because of that.
I think something is up. I don't know where in the system it is. It could be the offensive line's not gelling as much. It could be that, Saquon just hasn't had the holes because it's getting clogged up. They're playing the run. They're forcing Hurts to try to air the ball out. I'm not sure what it is. Another issue that I find with this is A.J. Brown continues to be a cancer for this team.
We've been calling it.
On the positive, Devontae Smith is taking advantage of the opportunities that he's been given with converting targets into catches 4 yards. I know that the fantasy numbers don't pop off, and that's what people look at. But as far as just when the ball's been thrown his way, he has delivered.
One of the top route runners in the league.
Absolutely. One of the better wide receivers in the league.
No doubt.
I'm not sure what to make of this team yet. They have way too much talent, but they also have a lot of cancer to go with that talent as well.
We've been predicting the implosion for a long time now. Yep. It's just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. They're still really good.
Number 4, maybe they shouldn't be on this list, but I think they should be, is the Miami Dolphins. They're up 17-0. Going into halftime. I say they shouldn't be on this list because are we really going to waste
they're losers
any
anyway.
time talking about the Miami Dolphins? But, Darren Waller, this is a second game back. He has 5 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown in the first half. He has 0 receptions in the second half. Riddle me that. How do you not find your 6'5" tight end the ball somewhere in the course of an entire half of football? It's baffling to me. Tua struggles in the big moments again. They're struggling to get Devon Achane going. What was once the most creative run game in the entire league under Mike McDaniel has, I think, just been figured out. I don't know if it's just defenses are getting smarter. There's 5 years of tape to see how they're operating, but they're just not able to move the ball as efficiently as they have been. Their season is over, and I believe they had a chance to climb back with a weak schedule, but this loss, I think, is the bullet in the foot that is going to be fatal.
The only choice now is to start losing.
Yep.
I mean, not to the players, to the organization.
Yeah, I mean...
Trade us Jalen Waddle and get it over.
Absolutely. The Panthers found a way behind Dowdle and his 206 yards on the ground, but I still think McDaniel will be out of Miami when the year is over.
If not before.
My number 3, maybe a surprise to you, the LA Chargers. They started 3-0, now they're 3-2.
2 bad losses, too.
Offensive line struggles are starting to show. It is why I was not high on them as a potential not just a Super Bowl team, but as a playoff team altogether.
Right. You didn't pick them to be in the playoff.
I did not.
And that was the reason that you mentioned, and I knew you were right. I also know that Jim Harbaugh is a great coach, and I thought he'd figure it out.
Absolutely.
And he still might.
I think it's only 5 weeks into the season. There's a lot of time to figure this out. Herbert is on pace, actually, to get hit more than Andrew Luck through his first 6 years of his career, and Andrew Luck had to medically retire. So that's not always a stat that you'd love to see for your franchise quarterback. Herbert looked great the first 3 games. He's looked more pedestrian the last 2. I don't really know what to make of it. I could just be a one-off, whatever. Quentin Johnson has been a huge surprise for this team. He has really showed out in year 3 as a potential.
You could start to see it toward the end of last year.
Yeah. As a breakout number 1 for this team, a team that's got Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey on there. but he had a costly fumble in the second quarter that I really think kind of affected just the momentum and the tide of the game. It kind of let the Commanders get a 1-up, 10 push-ups, I know. Washington
You owe me
get
after
a
the
leg up.
podcast.
But is it time to worry a little bit about this team?
Yes. To me, they look like a matchup team. If they have a team, if they play a team that has an elite pass rush, they're going to lose, like the Giants do, which is when, and you said, oh, you didn't see it coming. I did say on the podcast before that, are you not worried about the Chargers going to play the Giants, a team with an elite defensive line, against their offensive line?
You were right.
And I still end up picking the Chargers. I believe in Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I don't believe in slapping him in his face.
Well,
but yes, there's definitely reason for concern, which is another reason I brought up the question that I brought up at the beginning of the podcast.
Yep.
Teams like the Chargers and the Ravens, for sure, the Chiefs, don't look like they're going to be contenders.
Speaking of the Ravens, they are number 2 on my list. They did have their 7 highest paid players out during week 5, which is kind of crazy when you actually sit back and look at how a team is structured as far as contracts and towards the salary cap. That's ridiculous to have your 7 highest paid players out.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that.
Still, these are professional football players. They got beat by 34 points. Like, that's not a good look at home. It's just unacceptable.
7 players makes a lot of difference, though, Will.
The Texans struggled all year to move the ball before
that
this
was a
game,
mirage.
and the Ravens made them look like world beaters.
Yep.
Henry, in his last 4 games, you'll love these stats. He only has 44 carries, so he's having 11 a contest for 148 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the Ravens have been down in some of these games, but you got to give your best player the ball. Like, you can't abandon the script and say, Cooper Rush, why don't you go be our backup quarterback and try to throw the ball 25 times? He threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, they just didn't get enough plays.
He threw 3 picks, and the offense wasn't the biggest problem.
No, but, why is Derrick Henry not getting the ball? That's just, I feel like you just have to find a way, even if it's a screen game, find a way to get him involved. He's your best playmaker on your team.
The Ravens team that played Sunday was the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with that. And ironically, they're still the betting favorite in the AFC North to win the division, but I think
Lamar Jackson.
I think their season is on the ropes.
It's on the ropes, for sure.
Big time.
Another reason why I asked the question I did at the beginning. And there's a lot of these.
Yep. The biggest loser of the week is the Arizona Cardinals. That loss is potentially the worst loss I've witnessed in my years of watching the NFL. That's 21 years.
Horrible. Plus, their coach should have been fired immediately.
The most unserious organization in the entire league, and I don't think it's remotely close. This is what the Arizona Cardinals always do. Amari DiMercado drops the ball to go up 28-6 in the fourth quarter, that's game over. 3-score game over. He fumbles it through the back of the end zone. A week after Adonai Mitchell just did it for the Colts. How does that happen?
It just can't.
You're professional football players. How can that happen?
You understand A.D. Mitchell's way more than you understand him. It's just it's the news of the week, and you're thinking to yourself, don't ever do that.
Not only that, in the red zone, they picked Cam Ward off on a tipped pass. Well, that interception was later fumbled and was batted into the end zone that resulted in a Titans, Tyler Lockett specifically, who jumped on the ball, touchdown to make it a 2-point game.
Yeah.
The Cardinals,
fun game.
The Cardinals sit back and cover 2 shell and let Ward get comfortable in the second half, especially on the last drive where they were exclusively in zone and just kind of let him do whatever the hell he wanted to do. They just played so conservative. They completely, they just didn't even try. They played not to lose the game. We had this conversation last week. When you play
coaching malpractice.
When you play not to lose football games, you lose every single time. It's just a tale as old.
Not every single time, but it's likely to get you
in a situation like this with the Arizona Cardinals. It's every time. It's every time.
By the way, Will, the Cardinals were the elite franchise of the 1920s and have not been even a factor since.
Yeah. Well,
it's crazy.
I mean, Kyler's the only quarterback, I think, probably in NFL history to have to leave to get checked for concussion protocol because a snap hit him in the head. Are you kidding me? So you've got to bring Jacoby Brissett in for 2 drives?
They are a winner because they got Marvin Harrison Jr., who can just do
We're going to talk about that. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit. So Marvin Harrison was targeted 5 times the entire game. 4 catches
for 90. Quarterback problem.
Yeah, 4 catches for 98 yards. Guess how many of those targets came in the second half?
0.
1. Guess how many came in the fourth
Oh,
quarter?
that's right. He did score a touchdown.
0. He didn't score a touchdown. The touchdown got called down at the 1 yard line.
Oh,
First
that's
possession
right.
of the game.
You're right.
0 times in the fourth quarter, you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. on the outside, a playmaker, and you just don't get him the ball.
Man, when they did get him the ball, how good was he?
He's a playmaker.
Holy
you
crap.
You see it. I firmly said after last week, hey, maybe it's an issue with as far as just Marv is not Kyler's quarterback. I think this week is Marv's the guy and Kyler's got to figure it out. It's just baffling to me.
I think they got a quarterback problem.
His usage in the slot has increased a little bit, but why not get him involved in the screen game? How do you see Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, both of those receivers are used in the screen game all the time just to get the ball in the hands of your best playmaker.
How are you a quarterback and not thinking, I got to get the ball to this guy?
I don't know how you don't force feed it to him. You see, he mosses 2 defenders. I mean, a ball thrown into double coverage that, in all honesty, should have been picked off. And Marv Harrison goes up, high points the ball, comes down with it for what really looked like a touchdown. And I get his butt came down to the 1 yard line, but come on. Can we, a play like that, can we call that a touchdown?
Exactly. Come on, people. Let's do the right thing.
Yeah.
And make the rules just common sense.
I agree. That looked like a touchdown. It smelled like a touchdown. It tasted like a touchdown.
It was
and
a
he
touchdown.
comes down.
I actually forgot that he didn't.
The 1 yard.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
All right. Will, who are the winners of the week?
Well, the number 5.
And by the way, I can't believe you didn't have the Chiefs in that.
I will talk about that. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is the first game in NFL history where 2 quarterbacks completed 80% of their passes and threw for over 300 yards. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, both teammates in Carolina, both got cut and found their way to different franchises. It's laughable.
I can't believe you didn't have Carolina on your list of losers just because of that, man. How did you give up on Baker Mayfield?
The guy was playing D-line. Scout D-line.
What the hell's
That's
wrong
just
with
crazy.
I understand, but there was a time where Baker Mayfield wasn't taken seriously as a quarterback, but at the very least, he's a decent backup if you don't think he's good. And most of us believe that he at least was an average starting quarterback.
He looks like a top 5 quarterback in the league since he's landed in Tampa, without question.
He's been great.
The Bucs just seem to find a way.
They're going to find a way. They're that good.
Yeah. Baker is the perfect gunslinger for this offense, although he has been incredibly efficient for a gunslinger prototype. Yeah. That's a, high touchdown, high interception.
Brett Favre kind of.
Yeah. Brett Favre, Jameis Winston, maybe the best gunslinger in NFL history, 30-30 season.
Exactly.
Outrageous. Emeka Egbuka is an alpha wide receiver.
That's right.
I mean, he fell. Right. How does he fall into their lap?
Oh, man.
What
is their team captain. Do you know that?
Really?
He's a rookie. He's a team captain. They said the moment he walked into the locker room, he was their leader.
It's crazy.
And I think he's that good. I probably shouldn't say this. Reminds me of Jerry Rice.
He's always open.
Yeah.
He's always open.
He's not the most elite athlete in the world. And
I think
he's a good one.
Oh, I think
he's a good one. He's just not Marvin Harrison. He's just not. He's a very good one. But what he does is he knows exactly where to be on the field at all times. And Baker loves him. That's a team with 2 really good wide receivers already established. Yeah. And to add this guy.
Well, and he has benefited from Evans being out and Godwin being out. And I think that the numbers will come down a little bit once Evans gets in there.
He's Mayfield's favorite guy, man.
But he's great. He's awesome.
Mayfield's favorite guy.
They have an excellent running back tandem between Rachaad White and Bucky Irving, who did miss this week. But Rachaad White was, comparable in his absence. Sean Tucker is their third string. They've got their offensive line is also great. I think their defense still has some work. They give up a lot of points.
And they got a lot of old guys over there.
Their D-line is good, though. Their D-line is very good, but I believe that their ability to win close games will pay dividends in January.
I think that's a team we're going to be seeing in the Super Bowl.
Yep, we both said it. We both said it.
And nothing has changed in my mind. The only loss they have is because of a blocked field goal.
Yep.
2 blocked field goals.
Number 4, San Francisco 49ers. Mac Jones takes one of the most beat-up teams in football, maybe only behind the Ravens, and the 49ers might actually be number 1. But he goes in there with Kendrick Bourne as his number 1 receiver and wins a game in L.A. the 49ers defense looks really good too. Like it's not a fluke. Like they look,
They lost their best two players.
You talked about age, but I think
they got younger.
They still look awfully good. Shanahan usually struggles as a dog. His record as an underdog in games is not good, but he does have Sean McVay's number, and I believe that he has done an absolutely terrific job coaching this team so far in this season. I'm
stunned.
My coach of the year if I had to pick right now.
We both said they were a candidate for the number one pick.
Yep.
Not that we thought that they would.
I didn't think it'd be shocking.
Right.
When you said it, I was
because they
shocked.
were old, and if McCaffrey goes down again,
yes,
those kinds of things. And Purdy's just not very good. He's been good when he's had elite players around him.
Yep.
We'll see how good he is when he doesn't. And, I think Mac Jones is just as good as Purdy. I don't think either one of them is very good, but they're still.
You know what? I think there's a quarterback controversy because I think Mac Jones is good. I think Mac Jones.
I don't think he's good.
He looks better than Purdy ever has in this offense.
I think so. Yeah.
He was the guy Shanahan wanted, and they drafted Trey Lance instead. And I mean, if Mac Jones is 3-0 as a starter, I mean, they continue to win. Purdy's still out next week. He goes 4-0 as a starter. How do you not have a controversy? I get that you just paid Purdy, but boy,
stupidly.
Purdy can get traded. Somebody will be willing to take him on because he's a good enough quarterback.
He might be a starter.
I tend to agree. I think that he's been vastly overrated most of his career. I think
he had a bunch of Hall of Famers around him and Pro Bowlers. And
through 5 weeks, though, did we expect the 49ers to have sole possession of the number one seed in the NFC West? I didn't.
Hey, Will, there's a Monday Night Football game late in the season. It was the Colts and 49ers. And when we did all our picks for the games, I said, America's going to just love Colts 49ers in week 16. It might be a good one.
They're going to love it.
I was being sarcastic when I said it.
I know you were. I'm not being sarcastic.
I'm not either.
My number 3 winner, the New England Patriots. They go into Buffalo on Sunday Night Football and steal a game. That defense is starting to look like a Vrabel defense, and Drake May is the future. He is so good. Clutch when he needed to be. Stephon Diggs is doing what Stephon Diggs does for young quarterbacks. He just seems to elevate their gameplay wherever he goes. I know he's a diva, but boy, hey, he's a diva because he says, when I get the ball, I'm going to make something happen. He does. I truly believe in that. I saw a lot of Josh Allen and Drake May. I said Justin Herbert's my comp, but maybe it's Josh Allen. I don't know. I'm sure you're going to give me pushback on this.
If he's that good with Vrabel as his head coach, the whole rest of the week, the league's in trouble in the future.
I'm going to be hot to trot on this because this game in particular is a game that shows why I picked them to make the playoffs. They are just too well coached not to succeed, even with a down roster. They have the 2 most important positions filled on their team, head coach and quarterback. Josh McDaniels also has been a good offensive play caller for that team. That was a great hire for Mike Vrabel. Watch out.
The rest of that division's awful.
Yeah. I said I think the Patriots are going to be closer to competing for the division than not. I still think that's true. They've got a 1-game lead on the Bills.
We'll see.
Can they hold serve at home? We'll see. I don't know. But
no. Buffalo's going to be my 30 points next time.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Vrabel loses games by 30. They might lose, but it'll be close. He just finds a way to do it. I still can't believe the Titans let him go. I'm so glad he's out of the AFC South because he was
another organization that's hard to take seriously.
Yeah, no kidding. My number 2, the Denver Broncos. They go into Philly. They knock off the champs. Philadelphia had been in the previous 3 years 24-5 at home before this game. Simply put, Bo Nix is a winner. He played poorly in the first half and then looked absolutely incredible in the fourth quarter when it mattered the most. The Broncos defense is also a huge problem for others. Benito Surtain, Franklin Myers, watch out. Sean Payton's got the boys rolling. I really like my pick of them winning the AFC West at this moment right now.
And they could very well win it, and I wouldn't be shocked at all, but it won't be because of Bo Nix. It'll be because they have a really good roster.
Bo Nix he's a guy.
He might be.
He's a guy.
It's possible.
He figured out that defense. And he's the only quarterback, and go back and watch the games. I think that he plays worse when he has a first 15 script. I think he's a better improviser quarterback. I think he plays better
He's good at it.
late in the game after you get through those first 2 drives. I think that's where he really shines. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And I don't even know if they do script plays. That'd
He's
be a
got good
question.
downfield vision for sure.
That'd be a question that you would have to ask Sean Payton about. I tend to think they probably do if I know Sean Payton, because I've read Drew Brees' book and he talks about it a lot. But I think Bo Nix is an improviser. I think that he is a very talented quarterback, and I still think in 10 years we will look back at that draft and say Bo Nix was the guy that should have gone number 1, and nobody said it. But I did, so I'm gonna ride my high horse today.
And I'm going to roll my eyes.
Yeah, my number 1 winner, I think that you probably know who it is, because what an incredible game we got to watch last night. But it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is a franchise that never, ever, ever wins that game in that moment on primetime football, ever. And they found a way to do it. It's the biggest win for the franchise during a regular season game in a long time. Their defense looked porous. I thought Kansas City had a great matchup as far as what Mahomes was able to accomplish. I mean, the Jags did force a huge turnover, turned it into a touchdown. The special teams looked really good. I think Cam Little is a top 3 kicker probably in the league. He has a massive leg. Lawrence delivered when it mattered the most. I think this week, maybe Jacksonville's a bad 4-1 team. It's very possible that could be the case. But I don't know how you can look at what that game, I think, meant to that city, that organization last night, and not say that they're the week's biggest winner just by the chance that they can turn this into a real season that we look back at this moment and say, this is where it all changed.
I'll believe it when they do it week after week.
I agree. I
like the Colts' position right now.
I do too. I really do. They're a week 5 winner.
I also think the Chiefs are not good.
See, you know what? It depends on what context you say they're not good at, because I thought the offense looked pretty good yesterday. I mean, really, they only punted twice.
I don't think they're very good. I think they're run down a little bit. Like I said,
agree.
I think they're just going to struggle. I think that's a 9-8 team. We'll see.
They have a
Maybe
tough
10-7.
schedule. I agree with that. I think Rice coming back will be a big help. That implements a true 1 into that receiver room that I think they're lacking right now. But I don't know. The Jags just kind of seem to figure it out. I mean, the Lawrence's fumble there on the quarterback sneak, I mean, that goes in. Jacksonville's up 2 scores when it's all said and done. I mean, they scored 31 points, really probably should have been 38 if we take away what a play by Nick Bolton that was to have the wherewithal to punch that ball out. That was, never seen that. That was exceptional. But
I don't see it.
And well, who are the 5 teams most likely to win Super Bowl 60 in the play?
Well,
Do you like that?
I do. And I think I've got a good list right now. My number 5 is the Colts. Why not? Like, they're good. This is a good team. They're only lost.
I wouldn't have them in the top 5, but I get the argument.
Why? The AFC South, I think they're probably going to win the division. So their schedule's backloaded. It is tough down the stretch, but I mean, I think that there's a chance that they win 10 games because they just win so many games early, and then I guess, can afford to lose games. You can never afford to lose games, but, there's some that they're going to give up. But why not the Colts? This is strictly bias. I'm a huge Colts fan, so I'm going to put them there. My number 4 is the Broncos. I think that that defense turned a corner in a way that they hadn't done, I think, previously in the year. Obviously, that game against the Bengals, they were great, but that Bengals offense was horrible. They're looking like the Broncos that everybody touted them to be. And like you said, I think the Chiefs are down. I'm not convinced the Chargers are as good as what they looked in the first 3 weeks.
And the Raiders. Ooh,
yeah, the Raiders are really bad. So, yeah, I like the Broncos. My number 3, the Bills did move down a little bit. Their run defense is not great. And I don't think their back end's particularly great either. I think they'll find a way to get it done. McDermott's
not a great roster. It's a good roster, but it becomes great with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's saying. So I think the Bills deserve to drop just a little bit.
I still have number 1, by the way.
Number 2 is the Lions. I think they are as good as they were last year, if not better, and I think they will run away with that division. So I know we had the Packers. I don't know the thing about the Packers. I think that was a good bye week for them because they got a lot of stuff to figure out. They needed a self-scout week to kind of piece together what they're doing wrong and where they can improve. But I really like that Lions team. My number 1's the Bucks. I don't know if on paper they're the best team in football, but when they pass the eye test when you watch them, they can score points in bunches. I think that their defense will get better. I think their defense will play in January in a way that it doesn't probably play in early October, just with the run defense. And playoff football just gets a little grittier. The scores go down a little more. And I think the team that can run the ball better will win a lot. And I like the Bucks run offense a lot. I think that both Bucky and Rashad are both very good running backs. And there's a lot to like with that team. Altogether, I love Baker. So give me the Bucks at 1. I'm sure it's changed a lot over the course of the year. I think there's been maybe like 12 teams that have been on the most likely to win the Super Bowl, which is definitely more than there was last year because it felt like last year we were keeping basically the same 5 teams the whole year, but it's wide open right now.
It's so wide open, it's crazy. There are teams like the Cowboys who start to look around and think, hey, maybe we can compete with anybody.
On a level of, they were the 6th winner. They were the one winner that got left out, in my opinion. Because
big win for
I
them.
think that it was a huge win. They struggled typically on the road, and they go to.
I picked the Jets.
I also picked the Jets, and they go into New York, and they figured out Dak looks great.
Great.
So I think if he can continue to play at this level, it's going to be a really tough team to beat, especially at home.
He's been the best quarterback in the NFL so far this year, and that includes Josh Allen.
Oh, absolutely. I think, with bar none. I mean, he had a poor week 1, but really outside of that, he's been lights out for that team.
Hey, well, let's talk some baseball. Yankees, Cubs, Phillies. Which is the most likely to come back and win the series?
None of them.
Okay, which is the most likely if one was going to?
I think the Yankees.
I think you're right.
The Phillies just look bad. I know that the scores have been closer than they should be because the Dodgers bullpen has struggled, but like the Phillies, Schwarber, Turner, Harper, like they've just disappeared.
But that's why I might take Phillies. Those guys haven't been very good, and they still have been in games, and I really thought they were going to win that in the ninth yesterday. And you mentioned the Dodgers bullpen struggles. I don't think that's going to get better.
No, but I just think the Yankees at home, they are division rivals. I don't know. I think the Blue Jays probably sweep and get it done tonight, but if not, if you let the Yankees get one at home, I think if the Yankees get one, they're getting 2, and I think you're going back to Toronto for a decisive Game 5. The Cubs have no chance of winning that. The Brewers have just flexed their muscles and then some.
The Brewers could just brewer all over the place.
I think the Brewers. We always joke that the Brewers always find a way to lose, but boy, they have found ways to win. I mean, the Cubs put a 3 spot up in the first inning last night, and the Brewers immediately respond with 3 of their own. That doesn't happen very often.
The Cubs' offense had nothing for the Brewers.
Nothing for Biz. I think that Brewers pitching staff is built.
That's what I mean.
And that's why I think, like, if it's Dodgers Brewers, I think the edge goes to Milwaukee because I think that their bullpen is way better. I think that the starting pitching is comparable. How far do you go? If you're only going your starter going for the 2 turns through the lineup and he's getting pulled at the leadoff hitter of the 3rd turn, I really like Milwaukee's bullpen to find a way. And I just think that the way that Milwaukee scores runs, they don't depend on the long ball to score. They're very much put the ball in play, see what happens. They're good top to bottom, high average. They run the bases really well. Maybe this is Milwaukee's year. They've looked all the part so far.
And you have the Mariners in 5. You still like that?
Yeah, I just think their pitching staff will outlast Detroit. I mean, Skubal's realistically only going to be able to start one more of these games, so I think maybe Tigers get that one. I mean, Scuba obviously lost game 1, but I mean, like, tonight is Gilbert and Flaherty. Gilbert's got a huge advantage there. I just think that their depth will be able to prevail in that series.
And Seattle's going to have the pitching advantage against any team left in the American League.
For sure. I think Toronto's lineup neutralizes a lot of the pitching advantage because I think that their lineup is really just that good. If Vlad's playing like this, I think we're staring down a Toronto-Milwaukee World Series because that bat is just raking hot right now. Alejandro Kirk has been awesome, and this is without Bo Bichette. I mean, you're talking about the guy that usually is right there at the top getting everything started. He's not even playing in this series. So if you think he's coming back for the ALCS, boy, I mean, you add that back into the lineup, that Toronto team is awfully dangerous.
Last thing, Will, the Pacers preseason begins tonight, as does the NHL regular season, which is just way too freaking long. Who do you like this year in the NHL?
I really think Edmonton, if they can put it together, as far as the back end, if they can be better than they were last year, I feel like it's them. I think that the loss of the Panthers not having Sasha Barkov on their roster this year, out with a season-ending knee injury, which is unfortunate, but he is a guy that...
Plus 3 in a row just doesn't happen.
It's really hard just by the length of... I mean, they've played so much hockey, physical, mentally taxing. I just don't see it. I think the winner probably comes out of the West this year. I really like Vegas. I think that they are a team that has all the skill really at all 3 levels of hockey, between their forwards, their defensemen, and their goaltending. I think that they really present teams with a lot of problems, but as long as Connor McDavid's there, you may have the two best players in the league on the same team between Draisaitl and McDavid. I think that's really hard to stop. They were down last year. They really struggled. They kind of had to play their way into the playoffs, which seems crazy to talk about. I think if they play better in the regular season and they're able to play at home a little more, that's going to be the difference.
All true, but let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Fuck Canada.
I mean, it's been a long time. What's the last? I can't even
93.
remember. 93, yeah. I mean,
the year after I graduated high school.
That's outrageous. If I had to pick a sleeper, I think Detroit's going to be better. I don't know if they're going to surprise people. I don't know if they're a playoff team, but I think that they'll be better than they were last year. And they've kind of toggled that 500 line for a while. I think Carolina will have an excellent regular season. I think Brenda Moore's game plan is really easy to play against. In the postseason, especially when you're playing each other 4 games, I don't know. It's hockey's so different because injuries can really kind of derail your season. You have a couple guys go out on a team. And in NFL, if your quarterback goes out, it's really hard to recover. But you can withstand the loss of an offensive lineman or a skill player. At hockey, your leading scorer goes down. It's really hard to find that. But also the trade deadline makes such a big difference because there is so much moving from team to team. Another team, I think Winnipeg, like them a lot.
Can I counter?
Okay.
Fuck Canada.
Yeah.
All right. What about the Blackhawks?
I think this is the year that you hope to see them turn that corner. We'll see. I don't know. That roster's still awfully weak. So I don't know. It's hard because I'm such a big Blackhawks fan, but it's like it's getting so far from like when they were like good and relevant again to see them now. It's just, I don't know. And I was spoiled. I mean, they won 3 cups in 5 years. I'm well aware of that. But they haven't won
But it's really hard to see your team suck, no matter how great the past is.
Well, it's just hard because it's like, it's just, when I was younger, it's just not, they were always good. Like, you were always just betting on, when's the playoffs come around. We'll have fun watching them beat the hell out of the rest of the league. And then when the postseason gets here, that's when it really starts. But that's not probably going to happen again, at least for a couple years. I think they've got the goaltender figured out in Spencer Knight. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, can I just say, last thing, I am so ashamed of your father for letting you be a Blackhawks fan.
Well, I kind of got Dad into hockey.
I know you did.
So I would
I
say
know
that
it's his fault though.
Why?
He knows the Capitals are the good guys.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows that. I can't believe he let you go down this road.
Yeah, that's a franchise that needs to move
Those are
on.
Cubs fans cheering for your team.
I know, but who else? I mean, well, I'm going to be a Blue Jackets fan.
Yeah, no,
really?
Blues. Why would you not?
I'm not going to be a Blues fan. No.
You say that now,
No.
but
no. I've told you this. You've heard the story of why I'm a Blackhawks fan a million times. I'm not going to bore the listeners with it, but you know why. So
go Capitals. Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with friends and family and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. One last thing, a reminder, Will and I are about to record the Colts Report. Please check that out on Wednesday. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.